City of Stars. If you saw my match on Pop Quiz, the Nerd Chronic Video Chronic Pop Culture Quiz thing last night, you'll see I officially beat Brandon Hanna. You've got... That's my computer I had unmuted.
God, you're such a noob. Anyways, roll that footage.
Yes! That's my computer I had unmuted.
You know, I talk about being a noob, and I just completely screw that whole thing up.
Yeah. The answer's chicken on a stick.
Yeah, okay.
What's going on, guys? We're the Cine Fanatics. My name is Chris Adams.
I'm Robert Adams.
And welcome to the Tagline. This is a show where the tagline is the title of the show.
Oh, that is the title of the show?
It's weird. It's also the tagline.
Oh, go figure. I wonder who did that. Very interesting. Very fortunate it turned out that way.
They were very smart, whoever they were.
Woo, this is a weird way to start the show. What's going on, y'all? It is Tuesday night. It is 9:30 p.m. Central Time. This is the Tagline. We are the Cine Fanatics. We covered that, and you are here watching us. Don't ever do that. Thank you for joining us tonight. We've got a lot to cover tonight, so let's get started. How are you doing?
Doing better now. I got a marg.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, so speaking of margaritas, just to let you know, tonight we're running a special.
We're sponsored by Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah. Wasted away.
Yeah, they got it. They got it.
So, like I said, tonight we're running a special. Half off prices.
For new people.
Yeah, so if you're new to the stream, just to let you know that we will accept your donations in the form of Streamlabs, preferably Streamlabs, or Super Chats if you feel like doing Super Chat, if you're more comfortable doing that. But the special tonight, it is half off. So whatever you were planning on donating, just take half off. We're cool with that. We're completely...
For an example, if you were thinking about dropping $50, think about dropping $100 and then drop that $50.
If you were planning on dropping $5, feel free to drop, or yeah, $5. Feel free to drop.
I already got it. I nailed it.
Okay.
I nailed it.
Yeah.
I hit the punchline. We're good. We got it.
Let me see. Oh yeah, I can't click on comments and highlight them on this one. Okay, Garth. Just like with your mattress, don't rip off the tagline unless you own the mattress. If you own the mattress, you are safe and free to do so according to law.
I mean, just don't tell anybody.
Anyways, yeah, so if y'all have any questions, comments, feel free to drop in the Streamlabs Super Chat. There's also the Patreon up here. Patreon has been a lot of fun lately.
Patreon's getting to be a fun thing. You can explore and play around with.
Yeah, you can do watch-alongs like we did last month with Iron Man, and like we did just this past Tuesday with The Stuff. Saturday. I'm so...
Hi, what were you saying about noob? You don't get to insult me anymore.
I'm just tired, y'all. I mean, if y'all saw my Twitter this morning, I'm still dead tired. So...
Yeah, so we did the watch-along for The Stuff on Patreon. And we had special guest Tim Franco on there because Tim Franco likes those melt movies, and I don't. And that was the first time I ever saw that movie, and that was a really fun time. If you have not seen our watch-along, which I presume most of you haven't, because you weren't there live when we were doing it, I recommend checking it out, honestly. It was a lot of fun.
It was a blast. That movie is fantastically stupid.
Oh, yeah, it's horrible.
But it is so much fun to watch.
And here's the thing. Again, for those of you out there who are like me and hate horror movies, I was able to easily watch it, and it was just laughable the entire time.
Yeah.
It was more of a comedy, really, than it was a horror.
Yeah, and I know we mentioned it during the live stream of that, but that was actually one of like the critics of that movie. That was one of their drawbacks. Is like, you got all the comedy, you nailed that perfectly fine. You forgot the horror. This movie's supposed to be a horror movie, and there's no horror in it.
Unless you count the scene as sweaty palm. Oh, there's another sweaty palm. Oh, you got a sweaty palm, too.
Sweaty palm. That's not happening anymore. Sweaty palm.
Oh. Who was talking about me? Was it you? Oh, it was somebody here. It was you, wasn't it?
It was you, wasn't it?
Oh, look, another sweaty palm.
My name's Mo. You know why they call me Mo?
Whenever someone hands me some money, I always want some Mo.
Yeah.
That's some of the fun stuff. Go check out that watch along that we did on Patreon.
$10 on up, the Avengers tier.
Yeah, if you're not at the Avengers tier, yeah, what the heck? Do it for a month. Check it out. Watch the 2 watch alongs we got up there. See if you like it. Stick around for the $10 tier, or bump back down to wherever you're at. Just try it out.
Yeah. Let's check out the chat real quick. Right off the bat, MovieFanobi.
I like this guy.
MovieFanobi saying that our thumbnail's suffering from the googly eye syndrome.
That's true.
That's true. I'm a big fan of the googly eyes just because I like the emphasis it makes on the picture.
Nice.
It puts the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Got it.
Speaking of googly eye, that was actually, I didn't even think of that one.
You just had a whole train of thought in your head that I'm not catching.
I didn't realize that was said by Mike Myers when he did have googly eyes, basically, in View from the Top.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right, guys. You tuned in to the tagline, and we're making View from the Top references.
Oh, yeah. This is some high-quality banter right here.
Yeah.
But MovieFanobi right off the bat, dropping the $9.99 super chat.
Yes, sir.
Early talks, but now Warner Brothers and Keaton's agents can see the popularity. I think this would be amazing. Not the Flash part, but the Keaton Batman part. Oh, hi, Adams versus Arkham.
Arkham.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be getting into some Batman talk tonight, I think.
Ooh, all the Batman talk, all the same Bat channel, same Bat
stream.
Margarita.
It's not even a real one.
Shut up.
So, yeah, real quick going through the chat. It said, hi, MovieFanobi. Garth McMurray is in the chat. Tyler, what's going on, Tyler? Let's get ready to talk Schmoedown podcast.
Sugar Bear!
Is that Suge Knight in the chat? Let's also mention that. Let's mention that real quick, that apparently it looks like we're going to be doing the Let's Get Ready to Talk Schmoedown podcast.
I'm ready to talk Schmoedown.
Yeah, Schmoedown sounds like a fun thing to talk about. We're ready to talk Schmoedown. We'll do it at the end of this, and then we're going to do it again on Friday.
We're going to do it on this show, then we're going to do it on Friday, and then we're going to do it on Tuesday next week. It's just, we're going to talk about Schmoedown all the time.
Which is funny, because I talk about Schmoedown all the time at work, too. In fact, my coworker's like, would you shut up about the Schmoedown?
We don't care.
Yeah, we don't care.
Start caring. I'm going to be on it. At some point, maybe. Hopefully. Next year.
So, yeah, that's going to be this Friday. Let's Get Ready to Talk Schmoedown podcast. Make sure you go over there, subscribe to those guys. Be on the lookout, because that episode will be popping up.
No, it's Ferris. Or is it Justin? It doesn't matter. You're all Sugar Bears to me.
Yep. That's the Sugar Bear crew.
That's the Sugar Bear crew. It's like Gummy Bears, only maybe not gummy.
Well, I was actually saying it's the Suge Knight crew. Death Row?
Ooh. And we're no longer doing that show.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
MovieFanobi says your cat is thirsty. Okay, well.
Sometimes.
I feel like I watered her. And yes, I did get a haircut.
I believe that your cat is fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Fixed. She's not broken.
Sweaty
I believe
palms.
she's fixed, so she's probably not that thirsty.
Yeah.
At this point, she's asexual.
Yeah. She does like her food.
She is food sexual.
Ew. What? No. That's not what this channel is for.
She really, really likes to eat.
I'm picturing...
That's definitely your cat.
I'm picturing Chris Evans in Not Another Teen Movie. He does the whipped cream bikini, making fun of Varsity Blues, but he has it with like the bananas and stuff. It's hilarious. You know who else was in that movie? Sam Levine.
Oh.
Fun.
Yeah. The Inglorious.
The Inglorious one. Death Row for life. That's awesome. Anyway, so yeah, this has been a very jam-packed week.
Jam-packed.
In fact, I forgot to buy some jam. That's how packed it was.
That's a stupid joke.
I am so sorry. I apologize for that one.
Boo.
I'm sorry, and you know what? Y'all have a great night.
Click him off stream. Oh, you can't do that here. Yeah, you're stuck. You're stuck here.
I mean, I could just walk over there.
You literally could, but I'm not about to do a 2-hour show by myself.
Anyways, yeah, been super busy this week. Catching up on all these videos we're doing, the streams. A lot of fun. I'm having a blast. But yeah, and I've also taken on another thing that has been so much fun to do, and that was doing graphics for Roca.
Yeah,
I've been working on so John Roca, the Outlaw, over on his channel, he's doing a couple of new videos for his Patreon, and he has asked me to do the graphics for these new shows. So I've been having a blast creating these graphics, and I don't know what that was, but
Yeah, he's sitting there every time he's working on a new graphic. He's going.
yeah, okay. Anyway, so that's been a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah.
Because I can sit back, listen to someone else's stream, or play some music and just work on.
And then you can show them to me. I can tell you they're bad, and then you can redo them. And then I can tell you they're good.
We're a partnership here.
That's usually how it works.
So because of that, I really haven't been able to follow up on any new movies. I did see a bunch of new movies.
Nobody's able to follow up on new movies.
Well,
man.
I mean, I haven't watched any new movies for the first time.
Not for like another couple weeks.
Yeah,
Anyway.
no, we got that. But I haven't watched new movies. I've been just rewatching some before I go to bed.
I watched a new movie.
Yeah, you watched the stuff.
The stuff.
Yeah. So I've actually I think I watched. It took me pretty much an entire week, and I've watched pieces of Fellowship of the Ring right before going to sleep.
Took me 2 nights.
2 nights for that. Jeez.
I haven't started Twin Towers yet. Twin Towers, 2 towers. I keep saying that every time. It's not the Twin Towers. That was the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
Margarita. Here we go.
So, yeah, I've
literally the second time I've ever done that.
I've caught up on at least Fellowship of the Ring. That was an entertaining movie. I enjoyed it a lot more. I'm starting to enjoy this movie like more and more as I watch it. And I'm not a big fantasy guy, but it was pretty good.
What's really cool, and I would highly recommend this, especially since the month is about to be up. I would recommend getting on the HBO Max and watching the Hobbit movies while you can. Or, if they pop up on some other streaming service later, I guess you could do that too. But reason being is, and I know we've talked about this before the stream, but this is kind of also directed to those who, for some reason, haven't, also like me prior to last week, haven't watched the Hobbit movies. I would recommend watching the Hobbit. You good?
That was a lot of salt.
All right.
Ooh.
I definitely recommend watching the Hobbit movies, though, because if you go back and you watch them, and then you watch, say, the beginning of Fellowship of the Ring, everything's connected, which obviously, of course it's all connected, it's all Middle-earth stuff, but how it's connected just really, really took me by surprise, because it's been a while since I've seen Fellowship of the Ring, so going back and watching it fresh after the Hobbit movies was really cool. Which is saying a lot because I was never that big of a fan of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, same thing. It's just we're not big fantasy movie people.
The Middle Earth, the Middle Ages type stuff just doesn't grab me as much. But having watched the Hobbits and now watching Lord of the Rings, I'm kind of enveloped into that world, and I'm actually enjoying it a lot more than I did before.
So we'll be completely caught up on all of this like fantasy stuff by the time the Inner Geekdom tournament is over.
Oh, exactly.
So we're like, now we can answer questions about Lord of the Rings and Middle Earth, and now it's over, and we're not going to see anything from that until probably the end of the year, maybe.
If and when they're able to do those title matches and first number one contender matches, which I think are the number one contenders at least, are going to be happening here pretty soon.
Yeah. So other than the stuff, did you watch any other new movies this past week?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not really.
So, yeah, been busy. A lot to catch up on. Been fun, but yeah, haven't been able to squeeze anything. I know there's a couple of new movies that have at least popped up on HBO Max, and I did give a good perusing of what's available on the Shudder streaming service.
Nice
the
casual perusing.
The horror movie streaming service.
That's a streaming service I don't care about.
Yeah, but they've actually got some pretty decent movies on there. And I might be inclined to like check that out for at least like the free 7-day trial.
Our definitions of pretty decent are very different.
Oh, most definitely. So might do something with that and give like an update on those movies. So check my Letterboxd. Link is down in the description.
Don't click on my Letterboxd
because you don't have a link in the description.
So there's so much to do on that. so much to do on that.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's about it for personal stuff. Was there anything else I'm forgetting?
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it yet, I did a little bit of a dance around it there at the beginning here.
Anyways, I think
that's the wrong button. There we go. I was trying to brighten my screen. I hit the volume button by accident. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's all right. Over on the It's Video Drew's channel.
It is Video Drew's channel.
The Video Chronic Pop Culture Quiz had a really great one last night. It was Brandon Hanna versus Sabrina on La La Land. And I was there too.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you watch it.
That was a good match. That was a really good match.
Let's just say someone finally took Brandon out.
Yeah. So I've been on there a couple of times.
Wait, was it Sabrina? Who knows?
I've been on there a couple times. I have a lot of fun whenever I play those matches.
Yeah.
Eric, for the most part, does a lot of the question writing. So does Andres.
Yep.
So both of them have been really good at question writing.
Yeah.
The multiple choice options that are available are usually like just insane.
Yeah, they've all been pretty entertaining, pretty good. But that one last night was a blast. It was a blast to play. I had a ton of fun with it.
That's also part of the reason why I'm really tired, because I was supposed to go to bed, but I decided to stay up and support the little brother here.
Thanks.
Good job, little brother.
I'm gonna hit you.
You're over there. There's a
Hey, watch this.
There's a black bar right here. Yeah, you're gonna bump the camera. Okay. So, no one in the chat, huh?
Not anymore.
That was at least worth the 5 ski. So yeah, great match on that. Fantastic. Again, yeah, we actually do not because he was playing in it, but
because that actually gives you a hint as to how Sabrina's going to be competing in the Schmoedown.
Oh yeah,
and she's going to be a huge threat.
Sabrina's going to be dangerous.
If Dagnino does not put her in the singles tournament, next time I see him, I'm going to ask him, "What are you thinking?"
Yeah, just exactly like that, Sebastian. Yeah. I can't say his last name.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yeah, that one.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm not Christian Harloff.
Yeah.
But
no, you're not.
Sabrina needs to be in the singles tournament. She's going to tear that thing apart.
Yeah.
So.
And Brandon did good too.
Yeah, Brandon's all right. Brandon actually did really good. I will give props where props are due. Brandon did very good.
So, jumping into some movie news.
Yep. Already, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
So, over this past week, it was announced movie theaters are going to be opening.
Oh, buddy.
They're opening pretty soon.
Oh, buddy. Missed those things.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been when did Bloodshot come out? I know
beginning April.
We've talked about this before. The last movie we saw in a theater was Bloodshot, and I think there's a lot of people, especially those like in the YouTube movie space, that was the last movie they saw. And then like Ben Bateman, I think he said that's the last movie he saw as well.
Could have been so much better.
Actually, and then a couple of people
could have been worse. Could have been Cats.
Yeah, but a couple of people did manage to go see the premiere of Mulan. Because it was like the next day is when theaters like, nope, we're going to shut down. And then they pushed it.
And they haven't been able to talk about it this entire time.
Longest
embargo ever.
Yeah, and that's the one that I feel like we all want to hear. Like, okay, can you say anything? Just, was it good? Just nod your head. Just, was it good?
Is this the Disney live action movie that's worth going to see in the theaters?
Blink twice for yes. Are you blinking? I can't tell. Was that a blink?
It's about as close as I can do without actually
like eye strain,
getting in trouble.
Yeah. Someone needs to like capture that shot.
That GIF will be used for absolutely nothing.
Yeah. So movie theaters are going to be opening back up. So it came out. At least there's like three major ones that came out and made comments. They didn't say exactly. I don't think they said exactly when they were opening. But they did say
10th.
Right off what?
By July 10th.
Yeah, so
they're opening for a Mulan essentially. At this point.
So the big announcement that they did make is Regal Cinemas. They're going to be opening. They require masks.
Well, they do now.
No, don't jump ahead. Regal Cinemas require masks. Alamo Drafthouse is going to be requiring masks. AMC is not going to be required. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, they are going to be requiring.
Well, they are now.
Yeah, there you go. There's the right one.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was Regal also.
No. AMC was the one that first came out, said that like they're gonna open the theater, they're not gonna force their people to wear masks, and everyone's like, "Whoa,
hey buddy, no one's gonna be going to your theater."
I think someone like correct me if I'm wrong, but I think someone tagged them on Twitter like a gif of the dude sneezing in Outbreak.
Gosh.
The guy sneezing in the movie theater and just the water droplets going all over the place, and then the whole town is on lockdown.
Worst thing to tweet.
Yeah.
That's just, you're going to freak everybody out and be like, oh, that's exactly what it's going to look
like.
like.
Well, maybe we should require masks. Oh, okay.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, let's put some masks on. Masks on these people. So now they require masks too.
The thing I'm most interested in is how many people are actually, one, going to be rushing to the theaters, because I've heard both a fair mix and probably a majority of more people on the internet going, nah, not going to do it. So you guys can sound off in the chat. Are you guys planning on going to see, say, Mulan or Tenet when they open? Or are you thinking about waiting a month, 2 months? You're just going to wait till a vaccine is a thing? All that kind of stuff. Let us know in the chat what your plans are. I know right now we are actually planning on going to see Mulan and Tenet.
Yes.
Because our channel desperately needs more content.
I need to see a movie in a theater, man.
Yeah.
I just need to.
We've got to be able to do reviews. We've got to be able to do those trailer reactions when they drop, which I think we actually unfortunately missed one. But
yeah, there was the trailer for Kingsman that came out this week.
Oh, maybe we still do that one. I don't know.
But,
yeah. So that's the thing. Now the kicker here is. Yeah, Garth says, how many will keep their masks on? No food or drink? That's the kicker for Alamo Drafthouse, because Alamo Drafthouse serves food.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep your mask on until you get your food, and then you can take your mask off and eat. But then once you're done eating, you have to put your mask right back on.
And that's like, I don't know how it is like anywhere else in America, but I know the restaurants here that have opened, a lot of them are requiring that you put a mask on when you enter the restaurant, but then when you get to your table, you can take the mask off to eat and drink. So I'm wondering if it's going to be something like that with Alamo, that like, hey, you have to wear the mask till you get in your seat, and then you can take the mask off. Or you can take the mask off once there's actually food at your table.
Yeah, see, that doesn't really alleviate a lot of concerns for people, though, because the problem is that if not wearing the mask spreads the thing to everybody, then you're going to be able to spread the thing while you're eating your food in the theater. It doesn't matter if you're not wearing your mask until you sit in your seat or not.
Which now you're not only are you spreading your saliva, you're spreading potential germs, potentially the virus. You're also spraying your Texas toast hamburger and tater tots with chili sauce all over the back of my head.
I was thinking more of the chicken tenders with the hatch chili gravy.
That's really good too.
Yeah. That's the thing. And then you got, not outside of Alamo, you have the other theaters. You have the Regal, you have the AMC. Concessions are a thing. Concessions will always be a thing at theaters. That's how theaters make their money, mostly. You're gonna sit down with your bucket of popcorn, and you're not gonna be able to eat popcorn with a mask on, so you're gonna have to take the mask off.
Well, just cut a hole in your mask.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing with that, though.
Solves that problem immediately.
What that means is if you're an average moviegoer, you're going to sit down with your big bucket of popcorn, take your mask off, start eating your popcorn, and you're going to put your mask back on before the movie even starts.
Yeah, so now
because you're going to finish that bucket of popcorn before the movie starts.
And then you're spending the whole movie breathing your popcorn breath.
Yeah. That's the hardest thing for me is keeping up with the having to wear a mask for a 3-hour, 2.5-hour movie, whatever. I wear glasses.
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, I know where this is going.
I don't know if you guys out there who have been had to be out and about while wearing your mask.
The struggle is real, y'all.
At some point, not immediately, but at some point, your breath starts fogging up your glasses. And the problem with that is you can't see out of your glasses. So why did you spend money on a movie ticket?
Yeah.
You can't see the movie.
Here's the thing. I kind of want to reel this back because I think like the internet is overrun with like people complaining about wearing the mask. And I don't want to say I'm complaining about wearing the mask. I completely understand. I agree with wearing the mask.
Yeah.
I don't wear it all the time, but I understand. I agree with it.
Although we have to, Austin, you have to wear your mask.
Yeah, Austin is now requiring people to wear their masks in public stores again. But so Garth is saying that movie theaters have never been good about people being bad during movies, using phones, talking loud, bringing screaming babies, etc. So how good will they be about people keeping their masks on? First of all,
Alamo.
if you're familiar with the Alamo Draft House, we actually had one. This was actually what used to be over the Lake Creek Alamo before it moved over to Lakeline Mall. For those of y'all who are familiar with the geography of Austin, you understand what I said. If you don't know Austin, let's continue on.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that's most of the people in the chat.
Yeah. So there's a famous, I think it's on Alamo Draft House's YouTube channel. There is a very famous woman that was kicked out of the Alamo Draft House, and then she called back.
It's because she was texting?
She was texting. She was using her phone. She was using the light of her phone to find her seat once the theater was already dark. So first rule broken is you showed up after the movie already started. Yeah. And then she's got her phone on bright trying to find her chair while everyone else is trying to watch the movie. And then she's sitting there text messaging, so she gets kicked out. Apparently she doesn't understand the Alamo Draft House, so she calls and leaves a voicemail. And this is the most glorious thing ever, because what Alamo Draft House did is they turned around, took that voicemail, put words to it, like actual captions to it. And first of all, she's kind of sounds like she's a little inebriated, so she's mispronouncing words, and the captions are purposely misspelling those words.
She's just from the South.
Or no, whatever. Okay. Drunk from the South, whatever.
Same thing.
Yeah. In some cases. So she's they're purposely misspelling the words that she's saying based off of how she's saying them, and it is hilarious. And I highly recommend. It's like the voicemail complaint Alamo Draft House. You'll find it.
It's essentially her trying to complain to the draft house, going, "How was I supposed to know that I couldn't text my phone during the movie? And that's not right. You guys can. I know and I can't get a refund. I'm never coming back to your place again." And it's like,
I didn't know I couldn't use my phone because we got freedoms. We got freedoms here in the Magnated States of America. Magnated States of America.
We got free. And it's like, I'm never coming back to Alamo Draft House again. Good, we don't want you here.
Yeah. So they use this complaint to their strength, and there's tons of likes. Everyone loves this. So again, if you haven't seen it, go look for it. It's great.
So we say all that to say, as far as at least the Alamo Draft House goes, they're gonna slap you if you're not wearing your mask.
Oh yeah.
They'll probably be wearing gloves while they do it, but they're gonna slap you.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how anyone else does.
I can't promise any of the regular chain theaters outside of Alamo are gonna do anything.
Yeah, because usually like Regal, AMC, most of their theaters don't serve food. They just have your regular concessions. So
they don't have people running around.
Yeah, they don't have people in and out of the theater. They just have like essentially the normal people that are coming in to make sure you're not recording the movie while you're sitting in your chair. Shame on you. You know who you are.
You punks.
Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Sitting there wearing a mask while watching movies.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, I think as far as like Alamo goes, I honestly I cannot. I don't know. I can't really see theaters actually enforcing you having to wear the mask for the entire movie. I get it. I understand that that's what you probably should do, honestly, but I can't see them enforcing that. I think it's going to end up being like the restaurant situation where once you're in your seat, as long as you're socially distanced from people in front of you, behind you, to the side of you.
Which they'll probably enforce.
Which that for sure they'll enforce. They'll block out, they'll full on block off seats in whole rows. I think by that point, once you're in the seat, you can take the thing off.
Yeah.
But if you get out of your seat, if you get out of your chair, you better have the mask on. If you're going to the restroom, if you are entering and leaving the theater, mask on. I think that's how it's going to be, but we'll be able to report back after we see Mulan.
So stay tuned, subscribe to this channel, and hear our full report of how movie theaters are when we go to them again.
How great Mulan looks through a foggy set of pair of glasses.
Man, it sure is foggy there. I don't know what it is.
Wow, I got a lot of steam and fog in China.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Moving on to the next piece of news.
Make a man out of me.
Yeah. Wow. Someone needs to. Anyway, so moving on to the next piece of news. Kristen Stewart is playing Princess Diana.
No. Pass.
There's
Nope.
the thing. Like I saw the pictures of
I'm not on board with this.
younger Princess Diana, and I definitely see a resemblance.
Well, here's the thing. Almost at this point, anybody can look like anybody else. Have you seen Charlize Theron playing Megyn Kelly?
Well, yeah.
That doesn't look like Charlize Theron. I know it's Charlize Theron, but it looks like Megyn Kelly. So they could probably make her look like Diana. I'm just not sold on Kristen Stewart playing Princess Diana.
She's had a couple of good like.
I'm not saying she's a bad actress.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's something about her. I agree. There's a lot of her stuff I'm not a huge fan of.
She's very dry,
Yeah, I guess.
which is, upon retrospect, is not typically an adjective I would use to describe anyone.
Crickets.
But personality-wise, she's very dry.
Yeah.
So that doesn't strike me as the type of person who should be playing a very beloved princess.
Yeah, and I don't know. Again, I guess it depends on like what they do as far as like makeup and how the overall appearance of this movie, how it's going to look.
Hair, makeup, prosthetics, all that stuff.
Also, if they get Benedict Cumberbatch to play Prince Charles. I mean, there's a huge age difference there,
Wait,
but
are you pulling that from somewhere?
no,
Is that real?
I just thought of that. I was like, Benedict Cumberbatch could potentially be.
That I'm not against.
But here's the thing: there's a huge. I think there's a huge age difference between
for sure.
Cumberbatch and Kristen Stewart.
Oh, for sure.
But I can't remember like how big of an age difference there was between Prince Charles and Princess Di to begin with.
Cumberbatch is, I think, in his 40s, early 40s, and Stewart's in her 30s. So there's probably actually not that huge of a age difference. But I looked at this and I immediately thought, what? No on Kristen Stewart. Who was I saying should be Emily Blunt? I was saying yes to Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt would be a good Princess Diana.
I could see that.
I don't think that, especially because so the kicker here is that I believe this Princess Diana is supposed to be.
Ooh, I'm ultimately confused here.
It's all three of them.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Hey guys. Hey fools. Hey Chris. Hey Shug. Hey Justin. Hey Ferris.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, the thing about this storyline is it's supposed to be a younger Princess Diana. So maybe Emily Blunt is too old for that role. Maybe she pay attention.
Yeah.
Maybe she is too old for that role. But if it was like Princess Diana, say in her final days, then I would say Emily Blunt would actually be perfect, because if you put them side by side, a little bit of makeup, change the hair, nailed it.
Yeah, possibly.
But Kristen Stewart, I don't know. It's just who's directing that movie? Do you have that information on hand, real quick?
I don't. I didn't know to be prepared like that.
Well,
I don't
Just
even
look
know
it
if
up.
I don't even know if they said like. All I've heard is that she's playing Princess Diana in a movie. I don't even know. I'm guessing it's a biopic of Princess Diana, but
Stop spamming our chat. God. We love you guys. Stop spamming our chat.
Kristen Stewart's casting as Princess Diana met with
Okay.
confusion.
You
That's
can
funny.
spam if you're giving money.
Yeah. It's actually, so apparently this is saying that the movie's going to be focused on her split from Charles.
Yeah, so that's earlier.
The film titled Spencer.
That's the name. So anyway, the director is really pushing.
Pablo Larraín.
Yeah,
Larraín.
he's really pushing to do something different. He doesn't want to go with who people would think would be the standard choice to play a British princess.
Mm-hmm.
He's moving more towards kind of an out-of-the-box casting, in which case Kristen Stewart is definitely out of the box, at least in my opinion. So if that's what he's aiming for, then nailing it.
Yeah.
You got it. But I don't know. I'm just not completely sold. Like, here's the thing. Like, Princess Diana passed away. How old was I? That was back in the 90s, right? It was like mid to late 90s.
Yeah, 90, 96, 97.
Yeah, so I was a wee tyke in elementary school during that time. That is that's I don't know. Like I don't know where I was going with that thought, honestly.
Yeah. Anyways, you were young when
I was young
when she died, so. Wait, Garth is here? Yeah, he is.
Mm-hmm. So that's an offensive term to apply to Princess Diana. That was the working title, but that's
I think it was Spencer, not Spinster.
Spencer, as in the name Spencer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't touch that one.
Yeah. I don't know why Spencer, but I guess I just need to read more about it.
Working titles.
Yeah.
What's the one for Star Wars? Blue Harvest or something like that?
Yeah, Blue Harvest, and then it became the Family Guy title.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Let's get ready to talk Schmoedown podcast said a lot of things. But they super chatted. You guys are awesome. Ferris, Justin, and Colin.
Cool. Thank you guys.
And then also just now, what kind of drink is that, Chris? That is a
Ozarka bottled water. Oh, that one.
It's a really foggy. Oh yeah, well I have that also. It's a really foggy margarita.
So it's actually
margarita.
Yeah, it's actually like a can margarita that.
It's a glass bottle.
Okay, but I mean, I'm trying to.
What kind of cheap fool do you take me for? Getting a margarita in a can? I get them in glass bottles.
The quality of this margarita is a type that you would find in a can. It's like a limerita or.
Here's the thing: it's not bad when your other option is you have to go sit in a Mexican food restaurant.
Yeah.
To get one. You just want it at home.
Oh, okay. There's the connection. Garth is saying that her last name was Spencer.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I guess I didn't know what her last name was. I just always referred to her as Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Or it's like
prior to marriage.
Yeah, or like Princess Diana of Wales or.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So I don't know. I think I've gone into somewhat of depth here of how I feel about Kristen Stewart as Diana. What were your thoughts? Are you kind of like let's wait and see?
I kind of want to see. I don't think Kristen Stewart is like the worst actress. I'm not a huge fan of her, and again, I see some likeness between them. I kind of want to see what gets done with this.
Yeah.
But just keeping in mind, this one in particular could have the potential to just gigantically crash and burn. Or it could be absolutely amazing. I don't know. I feel like this is one of those movies, just by hearing what we've heard so far, is probably going to be on one end of the spectrum of that.
This is the type of movie that we're definitely going to have to see a trailer for before we make any really harsh, concrete judgments on it.
Yeah.
Real quick, Streamlabs likes to let us know when people subscribe, and apparently Michael Jackson just subscribed to us. I don't know what to make of that, but 9 minutes ago it says Michael Jackson has subscribed.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
From beyond the grave.
Pretty sure it's a different Michael Jackson.
Hee-hoo.
Yeah. Don't stop till you get enough.
It was his glove that subscribed to us.
Yeah. So moving on to next movie news. So this is the portion of this stream that we want to devote to all the lovers out there. All the people who are just die-hard romantics. Those who particularly are dreaming of like just that epic wedding. Just a beautiful, gorgeous wedding. And then two guys who are going to crash it again. Apparently, they're making a Wedding Crashers 2, which this I find is a little odd. Because at the end of Wedding Crashers 1, spoilers, they ended up like pretty much with the women that they wanted to actually fall in love with.
They're not crashing any more weddings.
Well, they're crashing.
Done with that part
they're
of
crashing them with the women, but it didn't sound like they were like the original intention was they were crashing them to get like the bridesmaids into bed and stuff.
Right.
They've got the women with them, and I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't think they were like, oh hey, now we'll also join you and just
we'll try doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Weird.
Like,
interesting.
That's called a manage three. Never mind. So
it's definitely the wrong language you were using there too.
Yeah. So they're doing a second one, which I'm guessing what it sounds like so far is like both the women have been dropped, and now they're just back out to crashing weddings for funsies again.
And I kind of hate that kind of storyline in movies where it's like, hey, we built up this entire movie, you formed these romantic bonds and relationships, and we want to make a second one, and we need to have a story, so forget what we did in the first one.
Women.
Let's just start over again. No.
So you love interests?
I mean, you took your characters through a character arc for a reason in the first movie. Granted, here's the thing. I can't complain too much over stories and character arcs for Wedding Crashers. But it's just the general trope that I kind of dislike in a lot of movies. It's like, hey, you took these characters through the character arcs in the first one, right? Yeah, we're going to make them forget completely about that, and they're going to do it again in the second one. It's like, I think that's part of the reason why I'm not a big fan of Solo also, is because we didn't need Han Solo to have a heroic arc before he had his heroic arc.
But you know what would have made Solo so much better?
Good writing?
Well, besides that.
Oh. Well.
If you had like just a spontaneous appearance by Will Ferrell who would turn around and go, "Mom, the meatloaf!
We want it now!"
Do you want some meatloaf? I mean, if you had Will Ferrell doing that in Solo, that movie would have been fantastic. That probably would have been my favorite Star Wars movie.
I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with that statement.
Yeah, you can all you want. So, yeah, Wedding Crashers 2. I
might have actually made it worse.
I don't know. Another one. We'll see what they do with this, but I don't think that one needed a sequel.
I'm not enthusiastic about it, especially because, like, here's the thing: Anchorman 2 was okay. It was all right. Zoolander 2 is pretty much unwatchable.
Yeah.
And I really don't need sequels to a lot of these movies. Like, I might be on board taking a sequel to, like, a Dodgeball. That could be fun.
Which I think they were doing that too, but
yeah, that could be fun, but I don't necessarily need a sequel to Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then that kind of also segues into the next part of this wedding movie thing.
Not a sponsor.
So, Colin Jost and Pete Davidson are going to be starring in an SNL produced, so Lorne Michaels produced, movie called Worst Man.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Weekend Update.
No, which that would be a very good idea.
They have not made a Weekend Update movie in the 40 plus years of SNL.
No. In which case, like on some of these, it would be great if they could go back and get, like, say, like Jane Curtin and like Dan Aykroyd to do like a Weekend Update. And then if you could drop in like some of the other people who've been on the Weekend Update over the years,
Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Seth Meyers,
so
Stefan.
Yeah. Oh no. So there's the idea is that you probably would make a. I know we're talking about this Worst Man idea, but
New York's hottest club is
the tagline. The tagline has everything: Schmoedown movie trivia, Robert Adams, Chris Adams,
Roman J. Israel,
Esquire. So
MTV's Dan Cortez.
So I know we were talking about this Worst Man, but I like this idea that to do a Weekend Update movie. In which case, like it would be primarily around, as of right now, Colin Jost and Michael Che.
The great thing is I could actually do that and then make a sequel to it later on when they have new anchors.
Yeah, and it just keeps on going through the different anchors on different adventures.
Yeah.
But like, say you got those two, they go to a bar, they go to a New York nightclub, and they run into like Stefan and run into Seth Meyers. So Stefan and Seth Meyers
and John Mulaney.
John Mulaney's Shy, his lawyer. They're all sitting there. At the end of the bar, you got drunk uncle is sitting there with his. Let me tell you about. I don't know if I can do those faces. Not as well as he can, but.
So I don't know. Was this one Worst Man?
Worst Man.
So I'm assuming that Colin Jost is going to be getting married and Pete Davidson is playing his worst best man.
You know who would be great as Colin Jost's fiance in that movie?
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Michael Che.
No, Scarlett Johansson. Because I bet you those two would have great chemistry on screen.
Actually, I'm kind of wanting Michael Che now.
As like the couple?
Yeah. Colin Jost and Michael Che as the couple.
Okay.
And then Pete Davidson is the worst best man.
Yeah.
That's comedy gold, folks. That's comedy gold right there.
I believe this, like that, yeah, that aside, I actually do believe that's probably the plot, is that Colin Jost is the one who's getting married and Pete Davidson is the worst best man.
Here's the thing. If they flip the script on us and it's Pete Davidson playing the straight man who's getting married, and I don't mean straight man, I don't mean like that, but I mean like the
comedic straight man.
Yeah, the comedic straight man getting married, and then Colin Jost is the one playing like the bum of a best man. Oh, that flip the script on us. Come on, do that.
See, here's the idea though: is it's Pete Davidson getting married, but like all of his friends and family are all like his personality level. Yeah. They're all that weird, quirky, comedic that he is, and Colin Jost is his normal his normal straight man.
Yeah.
Coming in, and that's what makes it funny is everyone else is the quirky, what you would consider the comic relief, when they're all technically the normals in this movie, and Colin Jost is the one who's the comic relief because he's just the normal person.
Yeah, so that is, I love the idea. That was a confusing
sentence.
I love the idea of flipping the script. Like you are entered into a world that is crazy and out there, and the one normal person is your honestly your comedic relief. Yeah. Honestly though, they're probably gonna play it as you would think.
We first thought.
Colin Jost is just regular run of the mill guy, probably getting married to Scarlett Johansson, and Pete Davidson's gonna be the character who needs some work.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the crazy, wild, out there character that gets them into all kinds of shenanigans.
He's going to be the Zach Galifianakis of Due Date.
And it's going to be, how dare you? I don't want you to be a part of my wedding anymore. And then they're going to think, well, I actually really love him. Yeah, I love him too. It's going to be like, I love you, man. Like, come on, man. Come. You know what? I do want you to be a part of my wedding. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I treated you so bad. Like, this is what, that's...
I said
this is just off the title, by the way.
I said Zach Galifianakis in Due Date. Let me rephrase this. That would be like Zach Galifianakis in anything he's in. Because that's pretty much what he does. He's always the foil comedic relief of...
Hangover.
Yeah.
Or his briefer role in Dinner for Schmucks.
Yeah. Yeah, where his face got like really red. Yeah, go ahead, do it. Can you do it? Can you get really red? I don't know how that's going to look on camera, but that's not bad.
It's not working. I tried it, guys. I do my own stunts. Oh, you're doing it, though. Oh, gosh. Oh, it's a lot redder in person than it is on the camera.
Anyways,
we both do our own stunts.
Oh, don't do that again.
Oh, I'm watching the replay here. We're about to see what you look like.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, let's watch this for a second, y'all.
Yeah, hold on a second. We're gonna.
Ooh. Oh man.
Oh.
Oh, it really didn't look as bad.
Not too much.
Ooh.
Anyway,
Garth is saying like the monsters were Lily, the normal woman was the weird one. Exactly like that. That is a good idea, and there's a reason that was the idea of the monsters at that time, because that came out like what?
Yeah.
Was that 50s, 60s, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
That was a great idea back then. Let's revisit that idea nowadays.
Yeah, that's. Honestly, like, I would love to see that. I would love to see the script flipped on that one. But, yeah, I mean, just look at the title. You know how this movie is going to be.
Yeah.
But can you imagine, like, the trailer opens up and you see Pete Davidson standing there in a nice tux. His hair looks clean. You don't see any of his tattoos, which is very hard to pull off, to be honest. He just looks clean and neat and everything. And then you flip the camera over and you see Colin Jost and beanie, stained shirt, t-shirt, whatever. Just,
what's up, guys?
What's up, man? You getting married, huh? We're gonna be in your wedding, right?
Wussy.
Your life is over.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. Just completely subvert all the expectations there.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Anyway, so we're gonna move on from that one. So let's get a little serious real quick.
I don't want to.
With the movie news. Well, I need to catch my breath still.
I don't want to.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, this past week, there was the passing of what I would say two pretty big movie icons.
Yep.
You have Ian Holm, very well known for Ash in Alien, and for Bilbo in the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he passed away this week, which, again, going back to like what I was saying at the beginning, is it over this past week, I've been watching Fellowship of the Ring. I think the night before was the part, if those of y'all familiar with the movie, was the part where they run into Bilbo at Rivendell. I keep wanting to call it like Riverdale, like Archie and the gang are going to be there. They meet up with Bilbo at Rivendell, and he's giving the sword to Bilbo, and then he's given the sword to Frodo.
Yeah.
All these names. He's given the sword to Frodo, and then he sees the ring, and his face does a thing and freaks out a bit and scares the crap out of all the kids who happen to be watching and look at the TV at that time.
And me on my rewatch, because I completely forgot about it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was at that scene. I went to bed, woke up the next morning. As soon as I wake up, I pick up my phone, start laying in bed, trying to fully wake up and scroll through the news, and I saw that, and I was like, wow, I just watched his performance in a really good scene.
Yeah.
Like right before going to bed, and then I wake up to that news.
And I had just finished watching the Hobbit movies, too, which, for those of you who haven't seen the Hobbit movies, he is in them.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was kind of that was crazy to see that, like, you having just started watching Fellowship. I had just finished the Hobbit movies and was looking to start Fellowship here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out that it's like, wow, man, it's very interesting the way the world spins and works sometimes, where, you know, you're sitting there watching movies and all of a sudden the actor who's in them is in the news, passes away. It's crazy. But yeah, no, Ian Holm is one of those where he's had a pretty long and illustrious career. He's very beloved amongst pretty much everyone who's watched movies, to be honest. Yeah. He's been in so many things. Been in so many, like, stuff in America, stuff in Britain. All kinds of, like, well-produced stuff. So
I know the first thing I think that I really recall seeing him in was Alien.
Yeah.
As Ash the android. Spoilers. So that movie came out in 1979. I think we're fine.
Yeah. We're all good.
And even that performance was really good. When you go back and you watch, like, him at the, like, first half of the movie, when you don't think anything of him, and then when that twist is revealed, like, he immediately just changes, like, his entire acting, the way he looks, acts, speaks.
It's crazy.
Everything just is amazing. I absolutely love it. And then the second one that we lost this week was director Joel Schumacher.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. With Joel Schumacher, I know a lot of people crap on his filmography. Because, I mean, especially depending on your age, you grew up only knowing Joel Schumacher as the person who essentially killed the 90s Batman movies.
At least that's the way it was presented.
Yeah. Me personally, I love Batman Forever. I love Jim Carrey. I love Val Kilmer as Batman.
It's corny as mess, but it's got a special place in the heart.
And the soundtrack is fantastic.
That was the one that Kiss from a Rose one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman, Chris O'Donnell.
If it wasn't for Joel Schumacher, we would not have Kiss from a Rose.
Oh, and Tommy Lee Jones just hamming it up over the top as Two-Face. Love Batman Forever. And then, of course, there's Batman and Robin, and we'll never speak of that movie ever again. Yeah. But, I mean, that's the thing, is Joel Schumacher's career is basically looked at as ruining Batman because of those two movies. And the thing
is,
like,
completely ludicrous.
It is. I mean,
first of all, that wasn't his fault.
No,
there was a lot of, like, studio, like, I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard the reports and everything, where he's talked about it, and it's really the studio pushing forward in the, hey, we need to sell toys. We need more Batman figures, and man, like those movies in the 90s, those were big on selling toys.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of one of the big things. Like, if you're gonna talk bad about Joel Schumacher because of those movies, you have to take into context what was happening to those movies. And I think honestly, there's a little bit more people out there. They're starting to come around to the idea that it's not just the director's fault if a movie fails. It could be the studio just trying to do too much.
Fan four stick.
Fan four stick, yeah. I mean,
but so I bring this up because I do want to highlight at least my personal. I know a lot of people feel the same way about a lot of these movies, but my personal like movies that were outstanding on Schumacher's career. I mean, you start with like Lost Boys. Cry, little sister, thou shalt not. Anyways, so fantastic vampire movie from the 80s. Great teen
Kiefer Sutherland.
like coming of age flick. Great.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Here's the thing. I haven't been able to watch Flatliners all the way through. I just a matter of time. I do want to watch it though. I still want to watch it. Falling Down. Falling Down is one of my personal favorites because I love you. I don't think you've seen this.
I don't think I've seen Falling Down.
You need to watch Falling Down.
I've seen clips from it. I haven't seen it all.
If y'all have not seen Falling Down, watch Falling Down. That is quite possibly one of Schumacher's best.
One of Michael Douglas's
and
best
one of Michael Douglas's best also.
Yeah.
In fact, almost all the major actors in that movie, top notch.
Yeah.
Because you got what's his name? Duvall. Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
How did I forget the name Robert? How the heck did I forget the name Robert? It's right there.
The crap are you pointing at?
Where my name is.
Oh.
You're not looking at the screen?
No. It's like, my name isn't down here.
Wait,
the crap are you pointing at?
So
I was looking at you. I was
so
like,
I'm not,
what?
So in real life, you don't realize I'm making a gesture towards the screen. So
no.
Imagine for a second you're looking at someone in real life going, yeah, it's down here.
My name is right here.
My name is right here, y'all.
I go by my junk. Hello, world. This is who I am.
Oh. Anyways,
no.
I highly recommend watching Falling Down. That was good. Time to Kill.
Arguably his best movie.
What?
A Time to Kill.
Time to Kill? Oh, yeah. Here's the thing. Like, given the subject matter of A Time to Kill, I don't know how that plays in our current climate. I know the movie is a lot of it is against like racism.
Yeah.
In the South. And this is the thing. Like, I know you have movies like The Help. Right now they're coming under heavy scrutiny, and I understand why for The Help, because that movie is playing up the white savior role play of Emma Stone coming in to save everyone essentially.
Yeah.
So I get that one. So I don't know exactly how A Time to Kill would play, but I know me personally, and I feel like it's an okay statement to say, once you're done watching that movie, you were just sitting on the couch or whatever watching this movie, and you feel like you just beat the crap out of like the KKK.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing the feeling you get watching that movie. But that is a fantastic movie. I do highly recommend it.
Yeah. That's first of all, I feel like that's one of like Samuel L. Jackson's best roles also.
Yeah.
But that's definitely got to be arguably Schumacher's best film, at least from our opinions.
The only one I like to touch upon is Phantom of the Opera,
which I really like his version of Phantom of the Opera.
I did just recently see that. I think I talked about that on here. The only problem I really had with it is they moved the thing with the chandelier from like the halfway mark at the end of the first act of the play, essentially, to the end of the movie.
Which feels like such a nitpicky criticism to me.
It is, but I mean, if you've seen the play, you understand how poignant the purpose of that chandelier.
Yeah, it's just to break up the first and second act.
Well, I mean, it's a very it's what brings in the emotion. It's what sets everything kind of on edge going into the second act.
Sure, raises the tension, but. Yeah, I really enjoyed his version of Phantom of the Opera, though, because, I mean, you got pretty stellar performances from both Gerard Butler and Emmy Rossum, as well as the supporting cast in that movie.
Yeah.
So, it's just... I know there's a lot of people out there who don't like it for whatever reason, but it's like one of my... It's probably in my top, I don't know how many musicals I've ever watched, so... That's where I'm at with that one.
overall, Schumacher had a fantastic career, and if you only know him from like the bad movies, like I mentioned, I saw Number 23 with Jim Carrey. Woo, was not a fan of that one.
Or if you've seen Phone Booth.
Phone Booth was good. I liked Phone Booth.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland in that one too.
I just wanted to say his name again.
Yeah. And apparently also Colin Farrell was in that, which Saul in the chat is pointing out that Colin Farrell was, I guess, is what I implore everyone to seek out this film from 2000, Tigerland.
Tigerland, yeah.
It's Schumacher's best by a lot, and it's a film where he discovered Colin Farrell. So, I mean, Phone Booth came out, I want to say 2004?
Yeah.
Movie release dates?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, so, yeah. I highly recommend Schumacher. If you're not like really well known on his work, fantastic director. Like I was in shock. I was at work and you text messaged me like, "Hey, by the way,
Joel Schumacher just passed away."
Joel Schumacher just died." I was like, "Oh crap."
Yeah.
So I was a fan of his work.
It's a big thing. I mean, you look at both Ian Holm and Joel Schumacher. Joel Schumacher was 80. Ian Holm was 88. They both. I mean, for me, I feel like once you hit 80. I'm not saying now's an okay time for you to die. Like it's, no one wants to be like, now's an okay time for you to die.
You're 80. See ya.
But once you hit 80, it's like at this point you have definitely lived a full and complete life. Mm-hmm. If you passed away now, you can do so, and we will cherish and celebrate your life, and not just spend time mourning the fact that you died at a young age. It's you gave us a long time of life and your career and everything that you did here on Earth. So for me, that's when they hit 80, it's like, yeah, they both lived a very full life. They both had very strong legacies and careers in the movie space. And so they gave us a lot in terms of just gift of the work that they were able to do in their life. So
yeah.
We celebrate their lives. We do not just mourn them, we also celebrate them.
So before we get into our main topic, real quick, going into chat, a couple more people have popped up. Cam Shaft says, "Hi, brothers." Well, what's up, Cam?
Hey, Cam.
And Saul is joining us, saying, subject to weird coincidences, Keaton news broke Monday morning. I watched Batman 89 Sunday night. Yeah, and I know there's going to be we're going to talk about another coincidence here in a second with that. Let's see, Jake Iacovetta joined us.
You know, speaking of Saul, me and him have something in common.
Go ahead. We can bring this up again.
Me and him have something in common, except that I was able to do something that he wasn't able to do. And I love Saul, but I was able to accomplish a task. And I can only say this loosely because we were only talking about one specific movie, but
yeah. But you did it for Saul.
But I did it for Saul. Let's go with that. I did it for Saul. I did it because in my heart, I wanted Saul to win against Brandon Hanna so bad. And so I took vengeance on Hanna in Saul's name.
Yeah.
I didn't say his name at all during Video Drew's pop culture quiz there, but hey, in my heart, I did it for Saul.
But let's be honest. I mean, who's here in the chat right now? Hanna or Saul?
Let's be honest. Saul's the one currently here supporting us.
So
Hanna will never support us because I beat him. But that's neither here nor there. Thank you for being here, Saul. We love you.
And then we also have Call to Action Podcast, which quickly switched over to Alex Shashek, is also in our chat. And Pardis also just showed up too. Sup, y'all? Sup, Pardis?
Hashtag did it for Saul. Exactly. That's. I'll die on that hill.
Yeah. So here's where the transition going up to talking about the coincidences is that I think it was Joel Schumacher passed away, and then it was the very next day, or no, it was within like the hour actually. Because you messaged me like right afterwards too, like, hey, other movie news. So it was like essentially within the hour after that, after Joel Schumacher passed away, that Michael Keaton is going to be playing Batman again.
Yeah, that all that news broke within like an hour or two of each other.
And I'm wondering if there's anyone who's like, "Oop, that was bad timing."
Well, this didn't work out.
Yeah, I think it's actually okay, but I just find that that is a very strange coincidence, especially for that small of a window.
Saul says, "Thank you, Chris. After a week, I will finally sleep well tonight." Yeah, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, yeah, I like Tyler said. Betty White is why 80 seems young. That's very true. That is very true.
Next time you play a video chronic pop quiz against Hannah, wear a shirt with Saul's face on it and just never mention it. That's funny. That's a good one.
I wish I thought about that beforehand.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
There's Garth with that magical mind again.
Yeah, magical mind.
Yeah.
Magical mind McMurray. So we were talking about
so the same Michael Keaton's going to be playing Batman again.
So the thing here is that it seems like a coincidence, but at the same time, Joel Schumacher didn't direct a movie with a Batman movie that Michael Keaton was in. So it's only loosely.
No, it's the series. Of the series.
Because, again, we like to remember Joel Schumacher for the movies that he did that weren't Batman.
Yeah, for the most part. So, yeah, Michael Keaton, it was announced he's going to be reprising Batman in The Flash. Now, here's the thing. This was announced, or this was heavily talked about yesterday when I created the thumbnail for this stream. At that time when I was creating this, I had only read that he is going to be playing Batman again. And, of course, we'll touch upon mainly what everyone else is saying, too.
We're about to get nerdy.
What everyone else is saying as well is the first thought was, like, get Michael Keaton now in his age to go and play the older Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond.
Yep.
Which would be fantastic. You get him to play the Bruce Wayne training Terry McGinnis to be the new Batman in whatever that future was that Batman Beyond took place in. Not too far off in the distance.
I want him to play it different, though. I want him to be a sarcastic old man.
Yeah, possibly. The thing is unfortunately the only thing we can compare that to is the Kevin Conroy animated series, because that's roughly been it, other than comic books.
Yeah.
So I like the idea. I want to see Michael Keaton playing the older Bruce Wayne in a Batman Beyond movie.
And if they do, like, maybe say some makeup job on him, like that of which you did on the thumbnail for the video.
Yeah, so here's a funny thing with the thumbnail, and I was really hoping it was going to work, and it did very well, and I'm really happy about it. The picture of Michael Keaton in the thumbnail is not actually as old as he is in that thumbnail.
No.
I took the picture of Michael Keaton, which you can Google Michael Keaton in a suit and see the image I took it from.
Yeah, so did you know you can Google an image of Michael Keaton and you'll find images of Michael Keaton?
Yeah. You can find the image I grabbed, and then I put it through that face app that we all used, like, what, 5 months ago or so, to make all of us look old.
It just comes back every now and then.
Yeah, it comes back. Well, it came back on this one because I was able to put him through that, make him look a little older, which he looked a lot closer to what I would think the Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond would look like.
Yeah.
And it worked out beautifully, and I'm really happy and proud of that. So
that's why Michael Keaton looks really old in our thumbnail.
Yeah, he's not actually that old looking.
No. He's about as old looking as he looked in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm a big fan of this idea that he's playing the older Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
They said that he is playing Batman, which, I mean, here's the thing. Batman is Bruce Wayne is Batman, and got that idea. Now, the last I heard, though, it says he's popping up in Flash. The last I heard that this Flash movie is supposed to be based off of the comic book storyline of Flashpoint, in which case Flash enters multiple dimensions in an effort to save his mom from dying. And,
Martha!
Yeah, why did you say that name? And if you'll remember the comics, the alternate dimension he runs into Batman, and this dimension, Batman is actually not Bruce Wayne. In that dimension, you know how that feels now, huh? In that dimension, Joe Chill actually shoots and kills Bruce Wayne in the alley, and his father, Thomas Wayne, is the one who's in agony and in pain and seeks revenge. So he is the one who becomes Batman. Which, here's the idea on that, is it would be technically an older Batman. In which case, getting Michael Keaton to play it, fantastic. That would be a great idea. That was what I thought last night. Since then...
AJ. It was got here at a weird time. Bruce Wayne is Batman? Could use a spoiler warning.
Yeah. Since then, they have actually confirmed that Michael Keaton is playing the Batman from the 89 Batman movie.
Yeah.
Now,
he's reprising his role.
Let me backtrack. They hadn't confirmed this. Right now, everything is still in preliminary talks. But if he is going to play Batman, it is going to be his Batman that he played in Batman and Batman Returns.
At the very least, this news is out here right now to make sure like this is something that people would want, and then sign on the dotted line and go for it. Which I have yet to see anybody say that this is a terrible idea. So I think you should sign on the dotted line and go for it.
So the idea behind this then is now what we're saying is that we're pulling in at least 89 Batman and Batman Returns into essentially what's going to be the revamped DCEU or the patched up DCEU.
After Flash gets done with it.
Well, after Flash and after the Snyder Cut comes out.
Yeah.
So I know we were talking about this before. The idea that we're kind of hoping this goes with is what happens to the state of the DCEU after the Snyder Cut is released. Will that, if it's released to good reviews, or at least better reviews than the Justice League we have out right now, will that fix the DCEU, and will DC and Warner Brothers, will they be able to reel this back in and get this ship setting right?
I definitely think
or whatever that nautical term is.
Yeah. Steer the ship.
Yeah.
I definitely think that you get the Snyder Cut, you get it out there, and it sees great success on HBO Max. That is the green light to do all of the DCEU. Whatever plan they want to do now, that's their green light to move forward on it. I do like this, and one of the things I like the most is you're looking at the situation where Michael Keaton is essentially reprising his Batman from the 89 Batman, which between that one and its sequel they are standalone Batmans.
Yeah.
You might in your head canon say like, okay, it's still the same Batman moving into Val Kilmer and George Clooney, but that's not really an official thing. What I'm looking at here though is that I am looking at the essentially a multiverse type situation with DC, in which case DC's about to essentially open the floodgates and say like, hey, so we know that we were talking about the DCEU before. That's not what we were calling it, but I guess that's what we're talking about. Just so you know, every DC movie that ever existed and ever will exist is a DCEU movie.
Yeah.
I love that they came out with reports though recently, like even today, like they re-upped on the no, but Matt Reeves' Batman movie or movies they're their own thing. And I'm like, right.
Are they though?
Right. I mean, sure, you might not pull them in fully, but right.
The idea
at this point,
the idea that I like that this is potentially going is we're now going to start going in the direction of alternate timelines, alternate areas. When you start talking about alternate dimensions and areas in the DC universe, you're talking about Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Essentially, yeah.
And
which they already did on the CW.
They did on the CW. I don't know how successful that was. I
was
know they pulled in Flash though. They did pull in Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
To cameo as Flash in that. So I mean, that could have been the seed planting that connection there.
I honestly think that's what it is.
Now, here's what's going to be funny, and this is going to be something great. I just now thought of this too.
Oh, good.
I'm pretty sure someone's mentioned it somewhere. But
real time, you're watching his mind work.
What if when they do that Flash movie, that's the Flash that popped up in the shows?
Ezra Miller?
Yeah.
Sure.
Meaning, while we're watching that movie, there's going to be a portion of that movie that we're following the Flash, and he goes and visits that dimension, and we're seeing that same exact scene that he was in the TV shows from the movie point of view now.
So now you're pulling in Grant Gustin from the TV shows to reprise his role as Flash in the movies.
Here's the thing. For the most part, Marvel has not done that. Marvel has had the opportunity to
Not yet.
really fully
Not yet.
Yeah. But to really fully connect their TV shows, you never saw Daredevil. We were kind of hoping like Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist would all pop up in the Avengers.
And of course, the reason for that is because it's was it Jeff Loeb on the Marvel TV shows, or is it Alan? Oh, what's his face? Anyway, separated from Kevin Feige, there wasn't a whole lot of like cohesion and working together amongst the two parts of the studio, so that's why you didn't really see it with Marvel. You can see that more with DC because WB's been in control of everything the entire time. That's obviously going to change now because now you've got Disney Plus and you've got the Marvel shows coming out on Disney Plus, which will have that back and forth work with the Marvel movies. But
that would be kind of cool to see that.
I do like this, and this is funny that we were talking about this because we were also talking before about the rumors of Sam Raimi directing the next Doctor Strange movie, and the idea that it's possible that Tobey Maguire could reprise his version of Spider-Man in that movie, and like a multiverse Spider-Verse thing. Tom Holland is in the Doctor Strange 2, and now you can essentially use that to split off and create whatever Sony wants to do with Spider-Man over on the side, including Enter the Spider-Verse and its sequels. So now you have a mix between animation, live action. It's connected through the sequel to Doctor Strange. You got Tobey Maguire back. It's an entire mind melting thing. And these ideas that are out there, and it's big. It's nothing that a movie studio would have ever thought of doing even 10 years ago at this point. Not even Marvel was thinking on that level 10 years ago. So it's kind of an exciting time to... I know we've said this before with, like, say, the build-up to Avengers Endgame and Infinity War and all that. But it's kind of an exciting time to be a fan of these comic book movies and kind of see what bounds they're willing to push now and the stories that they're willing to create and put into these movies. Because anything with alternate dimensions and time jumping and alternate timelines and all of that...
Typically, I would be like...
That's going to get convoluted and confusing for general audiences, but if you do it right,
you got to earn that. You got to earn that right to do that storyline.
There's a 1 in 14,605,000 whatever chance of it working.
Oh, come on. Who got that question right?
You did, but who won that match?
No, okay.
Brandon
Hanna. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing is Marvel has done so well combining all of their movies into Avengers Endgame, really putting a cap on top of everything they've done so far. This is going to lead into like, well, what can DC do to kind of one up Marvel? Because they were far behind right out the get-go. They came out, the Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Justice League. You didn't earn your team movie yet, in my opinion. Yeah. Like, Marvel earned it because you did Iron Man, you did Captain America, you did Thor, you did Hulk. You got your four major ones out there.
Yeah.
You got their origin. We're now familiar with these characters. We love these characters. Now let's team them up. DC rushed into that team.
Not only did they earn it by doing the storylines for those four characters, they were all good movies too.
Yeah.
Say what you will about, say, like Iron Man 2. Or really a couple of the other sequels here and there. But for the most part, Marvel has been on top of the game of just making good movies. And then, we're also tying them all together. I do want to bring this up because Partis brought it up here. They're talking about the whole ordeal with Ezra Miller as far as you heard about it. There was like a video of him like choking a woman or like a fan or whatever came up to him and he like choked them or pushed them down or slammed them down or something, and it was like a real brief like couple second video or something like that, and nobody as far as like Warner Brothers has really said anything about, oh, that's a bad thing, you shouldn't be our Flash anymore. No one said anything yet.
Was there any context to this video as to like what exactly was happening?
As far as I honestly, I'd never watched it myself. I still haven't watched it. I'm sure you can still find it somewhere, but I don't know what the context is. Someone somewhere might have said something, but all it really shows is that it's a video of him, I guess grabbing a woman by the neck and a fan of his or whatever and pushing them away or doing something. It's a very weird thing, and there's there's questions right now as to whether or not it was even real or if it was just something that was faked and staged. What reason would you have to do something like that and fake it and stage it? I don't know. It's just not really a good look if that's the case. But Warner Brothers hasn't really come out and said anything like, oh, we can't have him as Flash. There's not even a don't choke people anymore.
Yeah.
Stop choking people.
I mean, that should go without saying, but...
You think, but I mean, at the very least, like, you would expect a movie studio to be like, oh yeah, we'll punish him. Stop it. And be like, really? That's your punishment for him doing that?
Well, okay, we'll delay your movie another year.
Yeah.
Keep on doing this, and you're going to become the New Mutants.
Pandemic.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Garth says it looked like Ezra was just joking around with a female fan, but many think it could be real. That's the thing. I don't know. It's not confirmed whether it's real or not. So, I mean, if it was just a joke, then if it's a joke between him and that fan was like in on the joke and was completely okay with it and whatever, then fine, whatever. He's still Flash, cool. Everyone consented on the joke and it was great. But if it was real and he was like, get out of my face, grab someone by the throat and toss him away, not only is Bruce Wayne about to look different, so is Flash.
Yeah. Which, I mean, we're talking about alternate dimensions, so that's easily fixed.
Just bring Grant Gustin in.
Just do a plot device like, oh, good thing we invented the such and such machine.
Such device. Name that movie, y'all.
Thank y'all for smoke, or thank you.
Never mind. He's going to give it away right there.
Thank you for smoking. Fantastic movie.
I'd like to let people try to guess.
Yeah,
when they make
I did too, but I was already in the process of saying it.
Yeah, you need to calm down.
So interesting to see where this thing with Michael Keaton could go.
I like the idea, like every DC movie. The only thing I don't like about that is now I'm questioning when is Patience going to come back? When is Halle Berry coming back as Catwoman?
She'll be hand in hand with Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Also, does that mean that? Well, actually, it probably does. I would say, does this mean that they could potentially pull the Watchmen movie in, since it was directed by Zack Snyder?
I don't know. Ask Alan Moore how he feels about that.
Yeah, I don't want to ask Alan Moore how he feels about anything. Any of his work translated onto a screen is bad.
That man is the definition of a curmudgeon.
Yeah, well, I mean,
maybe for a good reason, but
yeah, I would say he has right to be.
Maybe for a good reason, but still.
Yeah.
I don't think Zack Snyder did a terrible job translating Watchmen.
No, I think Watchmen was done very well, especially
Give
for
or take a few parts.
Especially for a movie that was typically referred to as unfilmable, or a graphic novel that was. Yeah, except for that scene. Ugh, that was a wrong song choice.
Anyway, no, I'm down to see where this whole news on Michael Keaton, because here's the thing, we also say that, but is he actually signing on for multiple pictures? Is he signing on for Batman Beyond? Or is he really just signing on for like a quick cameo in the Flashpoint movie? Like his picture appeared in the Crisis on Infinite Earths on CW.
They also said, real quick, that there's a chance that his Batman character may be compared to like Nick Fury. That he could be the Nick Fury from Marvel of the DCEU.
That's fascinating.
Well,
I'm putting together a team that you guys already put together.
Here's the thing. If you think back, though, that's what Ben Affleck's Batman was doing. Ben Affleck's Batman is the one who created the Justice League, which was... See, there's another thing. I didn't like Justice League because of that one point. Batman is not a team person. He is famously known as a loner.
The last one to join the team.
He was the last one, not the one to form the team.
He only did it once he had a contingency for everybody.
Yeah, so...
Depends on what storyline you read.
Yeah. So, I mean, possible that the Michael Keaton being Nick Fury, that might be pretty good.
I could see the Michael Keaton Batman being that type of person to pull the team together, though. And I guess the way they did Ben Affleck, too, but... Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, part of me just really wants to see them just pull together their heroes and just do a flat out basic storyline with them, like we've gotten with Marvel. Because the kicker here is that I still don't feel like we've been blessed with the official Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Batman, Superman, just the regular Justice League. All formed together, and they've had their own movies, and they're formed together as a team, and they're taking on back. I don't feel like we've officially gotten that. They haven't earned it like Marvel earned it with their solo movie, like we said earlier. Yeah, like I want I want to see my team together, at least for a couple movies before you guys start playing around and doing crazy things. But they're in this position right now where in order for them to make sense of what they've already made, they have to play around and do crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's only so far that you can really complain as a fan. At this point, it's, hey, this is what they're going to do. Enjoy it for what it is. And if it turns out to be freaking awesome, don't even worry about what your thought was. They knew what they were doing, apparently.
And I like that because in Avengers, when you got them together, because you had been watching the previous movies, it felt awesome when they got on screen. That first shot of Iron Man and Captain America together, where Captain America turns around and looks at him and is like, Mr. Stark, and Iron Man just turned on Captain. Yeah, like that was cool. And then Thor shows up, and you're like, "Oh, awesome! Like this is great." They're all beating each other.
Circle up, and
then there's that big circle shot is so awesome,
iconic.
And then you got DC where they all just happen to come together. Like, oh, okay, well, you're over here, and you're.
I still think that one of my most favorite things about that Justice League movie, though, is when Flash was trying to speed around Superman while Superman was out of his mind, and he did the.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
And he was like following him while he's that I liked. I did not like his weird baby mouth. No. So hopefully we get that kind of stuff fixed with the Snyder cut. But anyway, well, that was weird.
Saul says it was awfully nice of Lex to assign them logo thumbnails.
He's not wrong.
That was
he's
awkwardly
not wrong.
weird.
And it's a weird thing to do, but.
Anyways, that's going to do it for movie news, I believe, unless someone else has some questions about it. If you have questions about anything, feel free to drop in the chat. There's also the Streamlabs and the Super Chat options available. They are turned on. Remember that tonight is half price night, so any questions that you have or Super Chat or Streamlabs, you just take half price off of that. You want to donate 10? Feel free to donate 5. It's all half price tonight.
Also, feel completely free to want to donate 20 and then still donate your 10.
Yeah.
I'm doing that joke again.
Yeah,
because
that worked too.
Half these people weren't here when I made it earlier.
Yeah. Half. Ah, funny.
Half off. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, we're lame. No one's going to give us money.
So feel free to drop in questions. We're going to start wrapping things up pretty soon. As soon as we're done talking about some Schmoedown.
Schmoedown talk time. That's what the other half of you guys are here for.
Yeah. Once again, those of y'all who are watching not familiar with the Schmoedown, which as of right now, everyone who is currently watching is absolutely familiar with the Schmoedown.
If you're watching it on a replay.
But if you're watching on a replay and you just happen to stumble across this video and wonder who we are and what the Schmoedown is,
please leave a comment so that we know you exist. We would love to have you live.
Schmoedown is a movie trivia game show for all intents and purposes, kind of played out like wrestling where you have good guys, bad guys, storylines, but the actual action of people sitting at a table answering movie trivia questions is absolutely real. Fantastic show, great watch from start to finish. You got people that you're fans of, people you love to love, people you love to hate, and people that you just hate to love. Anyways, so the Schmoedown was on this past week.
Like it is every week.
Of this past week, we were blessed with, from the IG, the Inner Geekdom tournament. We got Alex Damon versus Jen Kemp.
Now, this one was a fun one because this is Alex Damon's second Inner Geekdom match. And it was Jen Kemp's official debut out of the fan leagues and into an actual Schmoedown match. Now, I say actual Schmoedown. I say that loosely because, again, we are still in a position right now where we're doing these things virtually and not in a studio, and because she did make her first appearance in a free-for-all. But this was her first real official match, essentially, coming into this tournament. That was a fun match. It was a fun match because I think, first of all, Jen Kemp is going to fit in quite nicely in the big leagues.
Yeah,
I like her personality. I like her jumping in and just being ready to go. And I understand, of course, coming from fan leagues, she's used to that type of filming, so to speak. The sitting at home behind your own computer, you're comfortable, this is your domain, and she's coming in and kind of performing the same way that she would in the fan leagues. I thought she did fantastic for her first time out. I can't wait to see more of her. You can say something too.
Yeah, I agree. I really like seeing her in this debut match, but I do like seeing like the newbies coming in, especially in cases like her. Like neither of us, unfortunately, we don't watch the fan leagues as much as we probably should, but we get very good contenders.
Time is of the essence.
Yeah, we're getting really good competitors from the fan leagues, and the thing is when these people are coming into the Schmoedown, chances are we've heard of them. We've seen them in like chats. We've seen them on the Facebook group. We've heard of them already. We have an idea based off of what people have said about them, what they're capable of doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, when Jen Kemp came in, already familiar with her by name, we knew she was from the fan leagues. And like when she popped up at the free for all, we're like, oh, okay, that's cool. And now it's her getting her first real match. I like those. The ones that we have not seen, but yet we're already familiar with.
Yeah.
Robert Parker is another one coming in from the fan leagues, and you're like, yeah, we know who this kid is.
All the hype around him and everything. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, she was up against a new threat in the IG division, and that is Alex Damon. I am, I guess, notorious now for saying, and I don't know if it's really that big of a deal because I'm pretty sure a lot of people at this point are saying it too.
Wait, your brother?
No. That Alex Damon, besides the people who say I look like Alex Damon, which, compliment.
And I don't, and we're actually related.
Yeah, weird. Is that he is going to be a serious threat in IG. You look at obviously his performance in Star Wars is second to none, essentially. You look at that exhibition match, that Lord of the Rings exhibition match. Heck, you even look at the Champions exhibition match. He hung in there even on that one, and that was including general trivia as well.
Yeah.
But you look at that, you look at how well he did in the Lord of the Rings, and now you see him in this match, and you're seeing how well he's doing in Star Trek, and you can't help but think, hey, maybe he just watches all the Harry Potter movies one more time, and he's gonna get an IG belt. That's the thing. I believe Alex Damon is a serious threat in this, and actually could be the one to put up a real solid fight against Kalinowski on that side of the bracket.
That would be interesting.
And that is, I understand I'm skipping over some other people on that side who could also make a name for themselves still too, or have made a name for themselves in IG, like, say, Hannah, who is definitely hungry and wants to try to prove himself on that side of the bracket as well, and maybe try to have his day against Smets. It's gonna be a hard fight with some of these, especially against Alex Damon, which is his next matchup.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I definitely think that you are going to see Damon versus Kalinowski on that side of the bracket. As much faith as I have in Greg Alba. Love Greg Elba, whatever, Idris. But yeah, no, I really do believe that Alex Damon is going to be a serious belt contender in the IG division.
Yeah, so we were also given Janine the Machine versus John Humphrey. Speaking of the Real Rejects.
Yeah, you want to do that one too.
There's the other half of the Real Rejects in John Humphrey.
Also proving himself very capable in Inner Geekdom.
Yeah, both of the Real Rejects are fantastic so far. They just came out and you're like, oh, never knew y'all knew this much geek knowledge.
But at the same time, I'm also not completely surprised. Again, like I've said it multiple times, I've watched Real Rejects way before we even started this channel.
Yeah.
It does not surprise me that they know this much about the big blockbuster nerdy comic book movies. The Star Warses, the Lord of the Rings type stuff. That's kind of the bread and butter of almost anybody in the movie YouTube space at this point. They usually, if they're creating their own channel and running stuff on their own, they know a lot about these movies, typically speaking, because those are the big movies that general audiences everywhere are talking about. So it doesn't completely surprise me that they are good in these in this division. On the other hand, though, we did have Janine winning that match on our bracket.
Yeah.
So it is surprising to us that John did beat Janine there, because I think, again, you have a situation where Janine is better than her record shows. And she's just had, you hear a bunch of people talking about it. She's just had bad luck in terms of questions, wheel spins, what have you.
Which happens. That's a big part of the Schmoedown is the luck of the questions. You can only study so much, or you can only know so much. A lot of it does have to rely on luck.
Yeah.
I still think she did a phenomenal job on that, though.
See, I think that she would actually be good at DC because, again, if you watched our reaction to that match, we're talking about how one of her big, more famous entrances is her Harley Quinn entrance. For me, that is the little bit of insight that tells me she does know a little bit about the DC, at least the DCEU movies.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, I would expect her to at least do pretty decent at that category, and I think she would. She just happened to get the questions that she didn't know at that time. Say like Paul Oyama getting the bad classics questions at the Spectacular. He knows classics. Yeah. He just didn't get it just happened to be every question he was asked, he didn't know the answer to.
Yeah.
Which happens again. This is how trivia games work. Sometimes you get asked a slew of questions that you don't know the answers to.
You love La La Land. You may have been asked questions that you didn't know about La La Land. It could have happened.
I wasn't.
Not likely, but it could have happened.
Very hard. Very hard to find one.
In scene 39, what color shoes was Sebastian wearing?
Black.
Oh, jeez. You even know that? So,
Joke's
anyway.
on you, there is no scene 39.
They skipped that one. It was edited out.
Yeah. It's a deleted scene.
Yeah. So if you know the answer to that one, that's even better. Yeah. So, losing my voice already.
Janine, though, is one of those that, like with Rachel this year, we were saying this was supposed to be her year. Now, pandemic throws all plans out the window. If we had normal studio matches, maybe even if we were doing this Inner Geekdom tournament in the studio, first of all, I don't know if we would be getting an Inner Geekdom tournament if it weren't for the pandemic, but I fully expect that Janine would have excelled maybe in the studio setting. Maybe she's actually more comfortable in the studio setting than she is in the virtual setting. Either way, Janine is one of those that...
Either way, we were supposed to see all of your happy faces in Houston.
Yeah, we so mad. No, she is one that I still believe her best days are ahead of her in terms of her Schmoedown career. You just gotta grit your teeth, push forward, and get through those rough matches first, and then she will eventually be the superstar that we all know she is and can be.
Yep. And then we also had going into the Star Wars, we had Ken Napzok versus Andres Cabrera.
Yeah.
I mean, that one was good
that one surprised me too. I got to be honest.
In that both of these two have been on the same like podcast show before.
They've hosted Jedi Council together, yeah.
Yeah. So the question of that one became, you had Ken Napzok, who I believe is older, comes in with essentially what you would think is the more knowledge, being the master, and that you got Andres Cabrera as not the master.
The apprentice.
The apprentice.
The word you're looking for is apprentice.
Thank you.
Padawan.
There's a reason I'm not in the Star Wars.
I can't even think of the word apprentice.
Midichlorians.
Who was Red Leader?
Oh, jeez. So that was a good turnout just because you had that shift in there. The apprentice became the master.
Honestly, though, that one
sounded like Saruman.
That one did take me by surprise. I know there was a lot of talk about Ace saying that he has been consistently looked over in terms of these matches, which I didn't look over him when it came to his match with Josh Quevedo because I didn't know what Josh Quevedo knew. I knew that Ace, having been a host of Jedi Council, knew Star Wars, and so I was betting on Ace for that one. But I was not betting on Ace up against Ken Napzok because multiple reasons. Ken had a belt before in Star Wars. He wrote a book on Star Wars. Ken lives and breathes Star Wars. And because Ken himself, in the fan questions of those matches, when he's been asked, he's been saying, "Yeah, I've been getting perfect games watching along with these." Now, take that what you will. Was he lying? Was he just playing a heel? Maybe. But I feel like Ken is the type of person that all character aside is somebody who you can trust when he says, hey, yeah, I've been throwing perfect games in Star Wars. Yeah, I honestly believe that. It's Ken. But we officially saw probably what might be the last Star Wars match that we'll ever see Ken do. Partly because I don't know if he was completely on board with wanting to jump back into the game anyway. And again, story aside, it might have been a mutual discussion between him and Christian, but I think now, and this is kind of a side note, I think now you're looking at the likeliest of choices for taking over as manager of the Droogs is Ken. Now, it's completely dependent upon whether or not Ken can commit to the time that managers now have to pour into their factions, as opposed to just kind of being a figurehead as he kind of was with corruption before. But this one, this time, I honestly just want to see Knights of Ken.
And
I just want to see Knights of Ken.
I think they kind of set that up in that match, in that like Brandon Hanna was like the acting manager, and he was kind of insulting Ken like the entire time, and you could tell like Ken was starting to, he was getting a little miffed. He was getting a little peeved.
He's like, okay, all right. Well,
he wasn't quite on board with the way that Hannah was talking to him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're planting the seeds for a potential storyline that could end up being fantastic.
I mean, do you see a world right now where Ken becomes the manager, Brandon loses an IG match, and Ken goes, hey, guess what, buddy? You're out. Yeah. Go back to being a free agent.
Possibly.
I don't know technically if people can be dropped from teams at this point. I know you can't pick up players, and you can't, or trade deadline is going to be, I believe, in August. So I don't know if you can still technically drop players if you want to. You just can't pick anybody up in their place, but
yeah.
So that might be a thing. But otherwise, you know, you're looking at a situation where whatever happens with the Droogs, if Brandon doesn't like really do well in the IG tournament, he's not going to be protected for that team.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a side note. The main topic here is the Ken versus Ace match, in which case Ace is on people's radar now. I think that's the situation. You beat the old dog in the division. You're all of a sudden on the radar.
Yeah.
But he's going up against Laura Kelly next,
who has already taken on and did a very good job playing against Alex Damon.
Yeah, say if she didn't get I can't remember her match with Sean. If she didn't throw a perfect match, she threw a near perfect match, which is a little bit better than what Ace threw against Ken. Now, granted, Ace and Ken had some really hard questions in their round one,
which were omitted by,
I believe, intentionally.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. But you have to take that into consideration. Now you look at Ace going up against Laura Kelly. He's got some work cut out for him. I know. Again, I feel like it feels weird when you're like doubting someone who's steadily getting better, and he said he's steadily getting better. But man, it's for me right now. It's still hard to bet against Laura Kelly at this point, based on her performances. And I also just kind of want to see Andrew DeMolanta versus Laura Kelly again, and see if DeMolanta can rise up and get his revenge. Rise, young DeMolanta.
I don't know if I said rise or if I just belched.
Stuff.
Either way, excuse me. I'll just cover my bases there.
Right.
Yeah. Still interesting to see what's going on. We've got some good matches this week as well, which we need to get to filming some of these. So tomorrow night will be our live stream of the Star Wars reaction. Once again, we're doing those live through StreamYard because we just don't know how to work twitch.tv, and I'm surprised I can even say it.
Oh, I know how to work it. We're just doing it live.
Yeah.
I just don't. We can't do the same thing that we do with the YouTube videos, where we are able to essentially pull the YouTube videos and put them into our video when it comes to editing. So because we can't find a way to do that with Twitch yet, we're just gonna go ahead and do it live and give a chance for everyone to come hang out with us while we do it live.
Yeah, doing it live.
We're doing it live.
So that'll be tomorrow night, probably around like the same time. I think we've been doing it like at 11 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah.
Something like that. It'll be, I believe if Schmoebates is going on tomorrow night, typically we'll do it after Schmoebates is over.
Jake, you're in the chat. Is Schmoebates happening tomorrow night?
Yeah. Is Schmoebates happening? If it is, let us know. We'll do it typically after Schmoebates.
Yeah, if Schmoebates isn't happening, then we'll do it essentially in place of when Schmoebates would normally be on. Otherwise, we can do it after.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter at CineFanaticsMLP. We'll be giving updates on that like we did last week.
Or if Jake lets us know right now for a fact, then there you go.
We can make up our mind right now.
We can make up our mind right now.
So that's what's happening this week. Also, go back this coming Friday. We will be on the Let's Get Ready to Talk Schmoedown podcast with them boys over there.
Them boys.
We will be talking some Schmoedown and a whole bunch of other stuff. So
can't wait to hang out with Sugar Bear.
Yeah. So yep, that's gonna be fun. I'm eager to be able to participate in these things, especially you got like
that was all the matches. Wow, we did just cover it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm eager to do that with like the up and coming. I would say more and more people who are creating this content adjacent. Yeah. I can't talk. I'm so tired, y'all.
It's been a long day.
Yeah. These content adjacent contents.
This content adjacent content.
Schmoedown adjacent content.
There you go. You got it. You got there. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Look at you.
The SACs.
Look at you. Excuse me?
The SACs. The SACs. The Schmoedown adjacent contents.
So, yeah, we're going to be hanging out with let's get ready to talk Schmoedown boys. The Justins and the Ferrises and the Sugars and Saul, the Let's Get Ready clowns. Wow, so you're slumming out. Dang it, Saul. Look, hey, we think highly of everybody until they show themselves to be looked down upon. I feel like I'm talking about one specific person, to be honest.
I have no idea.
Never mind.
Oh, Hannah. Yes. Never mind.
What? Susie? Oh, yeah. Anyway, we love Brandon.
So that's going on this Friday. And then I think that's about it for this week right now, off the top of my head. I will be getting some sleep. I will be in a better frame of mind eventually.
Liar.
Yeah, probably not.
You're not getting any sleep.
I'm off tomorrow, and I got to go to a store meeting.
Oofa.
Yeah, so much for sleeping in tomorrow.
Yep.
So going back up to a couple of comments and questions. You got Garth.
Drop some questions in there, guys. Let's answer some questions. Ask us anything you want. I'm raring to answer some questions.
So you got Garth is saying that Michael Keaton's real name is Michael Douglas, but he had to change it for acting. But he was still Michael Douglas when he was on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I'm wondering in these cases is like, where's the leverage on the name?
Yeah.
Because Michael Douglas is a pretty common sounding name, but by that point, like, who's already had the stronger, more profitable career? Who's more known by that name?
Yeah.
And then is there anything else you can do? Because, I mean, we see a lot where, let's say, for example, you got Michael B. Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
But you got to throw that B in there, otherwise we're all thinking the actor from Space Jam.
The actor from Space Jam.
I mean, there's two actors out there named Michael Jordan. Just one of them has a B in his name. So, I mean, you're going to confuse me with these actors here.
Right.
Because, I mean, that's what he's known for is Space Jam. Easily.
I'm confused with Bugs Bunny and Bugs Malone.
Yeah.
Ugh. My voice is going.
Yeah.
Typically, it's your voice that goes. Now it's my voice.
Pardis is saying we're getting a 36-person singles tournament and Spectacular is December 6th. That's going to be fantastic. I'm hoping Spectacular is still going to happen as a live event.
I hope so much.
Because
it's good to go.
That is going to be the biggest Schmoedown live event ever. Because everyone's going to go to that.
Yeah. That's the other thing I actually wanted to bring up is that Not assuming that they're not going to announce the full list of who's going to be in the roster, say by next week. They might. If they do, then maybe next tagline we can actually kind of break it down or something and kind of go over, maybe do our rundown on who we think is going to win each of these matches or something.
Rundown is another show.
Oh, hush. Them rundown boys. But no. If they don't announce who's on the bracket by next week, then maybe we can just do our own predictive list as to who do we think is going to be in each faction. Who are they going to put up? Mm-hmm. Which could be fun. It could be a lot of fun to hang out and do on the chat. I know C2A was doing that also on their call live on Sunday, but we haven't done it, and we can do it too.
Yeah.
And we can do it live also.
We can do it live.
And it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
So was there anything else? Oh, Garth is asking Chris, just for fun, who did the cinematography on La La Land?
His name is Linus Sandgren.
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Moving on.
Who was the first person to dream up of the storyline of La La Land?
Probably Damien Chazelle.
Oh, okay.
I would assume.
That's fairly easy.
Written by.
Who was the costume designer for La La Land?
Oh, I have no clue.
Yes, I stumped him. Finally, he has been stumped.
The Mormons in Utah. They came up with Ryan Gosling's white button-down and black tie look.
Jeez.
Which is kind of loosely a joke that Drew was making on the Video Chronic pop culture quiz last night, because that's how Brandon came to the match dressed. But, you know, a good joke is a good joke, no matter when it's told.
Yeah. Saul saying, actually, when it comes to the whole name situation with actors, it's a union issue. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The union has to kind of step in and kind of help regulate some of these things. Regulators. They regulate any stealing of this property, and they're dang good, too. Oh, gosh. But you can't be any geek off the street. You got to be handy with the stealing, you know, or earn your keep. Now, question. Am I quoting a movie or am I quoting a song?
Yes. It's from 8 Mile, right?
No.
It's both.
Just kidding. It's Young Guns.
That was close.
And, and a Warren G song.
Oh.
War regulators.
I was right. It is both.
Just hit the east side of the LBC.
Just, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Brandon Buckingham says, just watched Riley's stream with Jason Inman, and apparently the proposed story for The Flash has a Back to the Future 2 vibe. Here's the thing. I love that story. Back to the Future 2 is actually my favorite of the three, because I love the idea, the storyline idea that they had, that the old Biff takes the sports almanac back in time, creates that alternate timeline, which essentially is also kind of how Flashpoint came about. Mm-hmm. Is that he saves his mom, and that's what creates that tangent 1985 alternate 1985 universe. Yeah. So I kind of like this idea, and that's what I'm really hoping to see them do with it. But again, going back to the idea that they could potentially start incorporating other alternate dimensions, alternate timelines, universes, this could be huge if it's done right.
Yeah. I think that's interesting. It's interesting that the Flash would have that kind of a vibe. But Brandon bringing up Jason on Riley's stream reminded me that that's actually my other choice for manager for the Droogs. Bring Jason Inman back and let him be a manager for the team now. Granted, I don't know what Jason Inman's schedule or his time looks like. I know he had to step away because of all his other projects and everything else he wanted to do. He had to step away from competing. So I don't know if managing is a little bit easier or works with his schedule better. But I just like the idea, mostly because Scott Mance is on the Droogs now. Mm-hmm. And you kind of bring back that Team Trek vibe a little bit with the partnership of Mance and Jason Inman. Mm-hmm. And I think that would be a great way to bring someone like Inman back into the fold, where he doesn't have to necessarily commit to competing again. I know a lot of people on it's either Backstage or SCN Live today. I think it was Backstage. We're asking Roca if maybe Matt Nost comes back as a manager for the Droogs, and that one doesn't work as much for me. if Nos comes back, he's gonna have to be doing something somewhere with Roca, or I don't know. I just feel like Nos is always is second with Roca. So I don't know. Maybe he comes back and he's still able to do something on his own. But I like the idea of Inman coming back because Mantha's on the Droogs.
Yeah,
being the manager, but that's a complete side point.
The scene they outline where the Flash makes out with Bruce Wayne's mom is going to be kind of risky. Well, that'll be interesting to see.
What's your name? It's Under Armour.
Yeah. Nike.
Nike.
I don't know which shoulder it's on. Anyways.
The one you didn't look at.
Yeah. That's usually the way these work out. I don't know my spatial camera positions.
Because it's late and you're tired.
I was late, tired. I know my stage left and stage right, though, so, I mean, that's amazing.
Do you now?
Upstage, downstage.
Garza costume designed by Alex Angelino and Mary Zafras.
Way to pull that one, Garth. Okay, so it's a little after 11:30 Central Time. It is time for bed, so we're gonna wrap this up.
It's your time for bed.
It's my time for bed.
My time.
I gotta get up early on my day off.
It's my time to eat something.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up. This has been a lot of fun tonight. Great conversation, great topics. A lot of good questions in the chat. Like to thank all of y'all for being here.
Yeah.
And you take over while I get everything wrapped up, ready to wrap up.
Yeah, I'm very grateful. We had a lot of great people in the chat tonight popping in here. Some new faces, some returning faces. Thankful for everybody popping up. Feel free to please keep coming back every Tuesday. We love chatting with you guys and having you guys here and being a part of the show. So
yeah, so make sure you follow us at Cinefanatics MLP. That is on Twitter, on Instagram. You can also see our Twitter and Instagram handles below on the screen. They're actually right. They're right here.
My handle's right here.
That's he's pointing at his name.
Right there. It's right there. It's underneath my name right there.
So make sure y'all do that. Also, hop on this Patreon thing. Apparently we've got a Patreon where we're doing stuff.
This Patreon thing. We're gonna be doing a Schmoedown watch along. It's gonna be, I believe, the Above the Line versus Patriots from Spectacular.
That's gonna be fantastic.
I know we got that live show with Shug over at the Let's Get Ready to Talk.
I think I have an idea. I need to run it by you on when we're going to do the Schmoedown watch along for this month, because I know the month's ending here and we need to stay on top of this.
Yep.
But I have a feeling if you agree to it, we're going to be doing that watch along very soon. So again, make sure you follow on Patreon. Make sure you follow us on our Twitter, because we will be updating exactly when that's going to happen. So
yeah.
Those of you who are at the $5 level or higher will be able to watch that watch along. It's going to be a little bit different than our normal reactions. It's going to be more of a laid back. We're just going to be playing along with it, making some comments on it. I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've actually reacted to that one before. Was that
if that was before we started reacting? Then no, we haven't. So that would
make sense.
That would be exactly. Well, nailed it. See, we got it. We worked it out. That would be a fresh reaction from us at that point. So
yeah,
that is watching that watch along. I believe is at the $5 tier. So if you want to watch that watch along whenever it drops, jump on the Patreon on that $5 tier. That's where you're going to get that at. If you want to be able to help be a part of deciding what matches we watch along with, though, that's at the $10 tier, and you also get those movie watch alongs at that tier as well. So
yeah,
we could use as many people jumping on there and kind of supporting what we're doing here as possible, because the more support we get, the more we're going to be able to do more and more just on the regular channel and on Patreon to do even more things and make bigger and better tiers with even more things. And I'm just saying I'm excited, and as much support as people are able to give us, we want to in turn give great content back to everybody. So
yeah. I think we got a couple ideas brewing of some stuff that we may be able to do. We're still going to flesh that out, but I mean,
flesh it out.
Flesh it.
Stuff flesh.
Anyways, Garth says, stop making that teapot song. This is my handle. This is my spout. Really creepy.
Hey, you know what?
That's your name down there. You're looking at your name.
You take it however you want. If you want it to be creepy, that's creepy. If you don't want it to be creepy, then
his name is Chris Adams. You can follow him at Chris Adams MLP on Twitter and Instagram. Weird plug. Just what the... Anyways.
You haven't seen a weird plug.
Oh, God. All right, we're ending this stream now. That's going to do it for tonight. Again, thank y'all for watching. Thank you.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Parta says, what does the MLP stand for in the Twitter handle? It stands for Method Living Productions. That is the name of my production company that you can find Cinefanatics being the child of. It's the parent company, and it's also what I'm attempting to try to do for a living in the meantime, which is shooting videos, corporate, wedding, all that type of stuff. So,
which everyone's just itching to get that done right now.
Yeah, nobody really wants to do big video stuff when you could get sick.
Dang it, Garth, really?
It's not My Little Pony, good lord.
If it isn't JTH, it's Garth McMurray. Everyone loves the My Little Pony. Here's the thing: when we first thought of that, when I first mentioned MLP, even like to like coworkers way back when, everyone's like, "Oh, My Little Pony." Okay.
No, it's Method Living Productions. Again, not meth living because not on meth. It's method, like a method actor.
Oh,
only life, not acting.
I like that connection.
Yeah, see?
You should use that as the name of a business.
Jake said Meth Lab Productions. Can I ban Jake?
Yeah, we have him as a moderator. I don't think you can...
I can't ban Jake.
Yeah.
I'm not Ben Garden.
Yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for tonight, and let's play the music.
Is it playing yet? I'm dancing.
I hear the neighbor's music, actually.
I'm dancing. Is it playing? All right.
The music is now playing, so y'all have a great evening. Again, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for being a part of this. We will see y'all next Tuesday, and hopefully we will see you also tomorrow night when we do a Star Wars live stream thingy. Anyways, see y'all later. Good night.
See ya.